Chelsea, I mean, we mentioned about the manager being sacked. So there's been a headline today that Poch just told the Chelsea players to grow up after their worst start in 40.
After he buys the youngest players in the world.
Hang on a minute. Let me just finish this bit and we'll come into it. He wants them to grow up because it's more not the statement. That statement is not really part of what I'm talking about. After their worst start in 45 years, a stat that came out today that Enzo Fernandez has only registered one win against a current Premier League side since he signed for Chelsea, and it came against Bournemouth in May. As an example, that was put out today by ESPN. They are currently only 2 wins in their last 18 games as a football club in the Premier League. In the last 35 games, and these stats are all being looked at, their points per game average is at like 0.8, which is enough to get relegated in every Premier League season ever, if that continues throughout the course of this season. They've got a very hard run of fixtures on the horizon. Like, I agree with you about Poch. I think Poch is under tremendous pressure. And I know Chelsea fans, and there was a super chat, a comment that I starred earlier that sort of said that most of our content creators are backing this process. It's embarrassing. And for me, this is where Chelsea fans have got to be very, very careful, because they all keep talking about we've got the most possession, we've got the most amount of shots, the most amount of big chances created. It's going to click. But do you think after their current form over the last 12 months, worst start to a league campaign in 45 years, no goals being scored, a very young team, do you think backing this process is the right thing for these Chelsea fans to do?
No, they should be writing. They've forced bigger and better managers and bigger and better players out of that football club than what they've got there now, Terry. Ancelotti got sacked at half-time. Jose got sacked twice. They've had managers win a league and get sacked. Managers win a title, get sacked. Conte, sacked. Record-breaking points tally, record-breaking wins. Well, it weren't points tally, record-breaking wins in a season at that point. Yeah, 2017. 30 wins in a season. We then done them in the cup final. I think he got sacked the next season. Like, they're all sitting there, edging their bets. Oh, hopefully it comes good. Most of them are just trying to get a sponsorship deal. Let's just be real with it. let's just be real with it. We know the game. Yeah, we know what they're doing. Yeah. If I be nice and I keep pushing the PR, I might appear on Chelsea TV. Yeah, or I might get on 888. Like, do me a favor. Yeah, how about say it as it is? Yeah. And if you actually listen to some of the older heads, they're fuming. The problem is the internet's more of a younger person's game rather than an older head. Yes, the older ones that have seen it live through the 80s and their rubbish era, then into the 90s where they were actually half decent, getting cup finals, this and that, then Roman's era. Yeah, and it's like, bro, it's mad. They should be absolutely going nuts. That club has gone from being an elite level football club run by an elite level owner all the way top to bottom, elite academy, which they keep raving about. Oh, we're our academy. Oh, the 1v1 demon. Look at him. He's at Forest now. Yeah, like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. And now look at them. They're all sitting there going, well, yeah, you know, we're getting the most XG in games. Turn it in. That club has gone from being up here to being down here inside less than 18 months. And they're all accepting it. No, you should be using your platforms to call them out. Call them out. It's a disgrace what's happened to that football club. Listen, I couldn't care less. It ain't my club. But I've seen this story before, Terry, hence why we've gone 20 years without a title. Yeah, that club will go 20 years without a title unless they fix up and look sharp real quick. Yeah, it's actually crazy. What can Chelsea fans do, says Twisted. I'll tell you what they can do. Yeah, go and have a look at what Ajax fans did the other day.
That was wild.
Yeah, they got the game called off though, didn't they? Yeah, they're finishing the game tomorrow, I think. Yeah, which means their next game's postponed because now they have to shoehorn the rest of that fixture in. 3-0 down to their local or their rival, their Feyenoord. Yeah, they've got the game. I'm not saying go and smash the stadium up or anything like that, but they made a statement. The game got called off because of flares being put on the pitch. Yeah, I watched a Saudi League game the other day, Al Nassr against Al Ahly, yeah, and Ronaldo scores a goal when there's smoke bombs and flares, but that game got called off for that. They called the game off, and then you see all the police horses charging out. They absolutely wrecked that place. I'm not saying go to them levels, but there's things you can do. When I talk about the Glazers and your fans, I said to you the other day, I did a watch along for the game the other day, and your fans are sat in the stadium with their new shirts with Bruno on number 8 on the back or whatever number he is, holding up the Norwich scarves. You've paid to go there, mate, wearing the new shirt. Yeah, stop going, protest and boycott and cause a scene. When you lot got the biggest game in England called off, you stormed the stadium. You stormed the stadium. These things only happen abroad. Why? Because the fans abroad, yeah, have got a backbone. Yeah, they ain't got PR infiltrating their mind through Sky Sports. Yeah, their ultras set the standards based off of what the football club standards were originally. Yeah, and you can laugh.
No, what I mean is, my question to you,
being 3-0 down.
Okay, hang on. That wasn't why they rioted, though. It's more than that. They're 14th in the league. It does also show how important Ten Hag was to them as a manager, because since he's left, they've completely dropped off. On top of that, they've already got rid of people, like the sporting director, people like this have been buying badly, they're being coached badly. Obviously, they've not just lost Ten Hag, they lost Mark Overmars for what looked like the right reasons. Van der Sar's moved away, and
they brought Overmars back. I think they're bringing him back, in there.
Well, I don't know if he's been proven innocent or not, but that's a by the by, because I don't know anything about it. So I won't talk about it if I don't know anything about it. But this is why I've been talking about for years. When a club is run well, it will succeed.
Okay, so let me stop you. Sorry,
let me go on.
No, let me cut you off, because you're saying since Ten Hag's left, which is what, 15 months ago, that club's now just nosedived, yeah? So rather than let it go 5, 6, 7, 8 years, they're doing it now. But mate, they're doing it now.
You know, if you'd let bruv, that was before you interjected, that was gonna be my point. That's what I say to you. Sometimes you interject me thinking I'm challenging you, but I'm not. We're probably going to agree, and that's where I think you've got to. This is where I look at what Ajax did. Now, I'm not advocating smashing up part of the stadium. I'm not advocating that behavior per se, but Ajax have also come out and turned around and said they won't be issuing any bans to any fans that did what they did. And this is the thing. Man United fans are so afraid of, but if I give up my ticket, I might never get it back. Or if I do this, I might never be allowed back in again. And that's where they get you. That's where they make you not do these. Listen, you could just stand outside the stadium. If you've got 50,000 of you to stand by the entrance where the players come in every game and say, we're not letting the players into the ground, the games get called off. And if you just 50,000 of you stand there in a group, don't just stand still. Nothing, link arms. You're not breaking the law. It's not against the law to do it. Nothing will happen to you.
That's it. I'll give you an example.
And it does say, so listen, what the Ajax fans did.
Valencia played Athletic Bilbao, right? At Valencia's ground, yeah? Right? They can't stand their owners. The owner that employed Gary Neville to be manager, who has a stake in Salford FC. I think he's the chairman or whatever. He's the owner of Valencia. Yeah, they're so against that Valencia owner that when they played Athletic Bilbao, most of the fans were outside the ground the whole game. Hardly anyone inside the stadium for the whole game. They're all standing outside protesting. Guess what? That now goes global. Yeah, all of a sudden Valencia fix up this summer, and now they're all the way up the top, near the top 4, top 5, whatever. Yeah, because fans, without fans, you ain't got a football club. Let's just be real with it. Yeah, Man United fans, yes, I know most of them don't live in England, the same as most top clubs in England or around Europe now. Yeah, Real Madrid, 90%, 95, 99% of their fans are not Spanish. Yeah, but you can make a stand. You have to be on the same page. But the problem is, in England, the PR is a disgrace. Sky Sports peddle out crap. They hype up everything. And then, as football fans online, the perks of being a super top red are outweighing actually saying what the truth is. Yeah, so you use your account for the wrong reason.
And I think a lot of that plays a part. The biggest issue that I have is when people say, but look, all the foreign fans will still buy stuff. And I'm like, see, you're disrespectful of the foreign fans, international fans, because they follow suit and they love the club as well. But it's a case of, why should they not buy a kit if you're going to the ground? It becomes well, I'm not doing this unless you do that. Well, somebody make the first move. You know, I gave up 2 season tickets that I waited a long time to get in the Stretford End, and I gave them up. I stopped buying things. Although my ex-wife, I found out the other day because I FaceTimed Archie and he answered it, and I didn't talk for like 30 seconds. He's like, Daddy, what's the matter with you? So why have you got a Man United shirt on, son? He went, oh, they didn't tell me that they bought him one. And look, it is what it is. Like I can't control what. Although it's my son, we're very I can't control it.
That ain't right.
Mate, I can't control. He did another country. Nothing I could do about it. I was like,
no,
he's got a little, yeah. Anyway, and it's one of these things. I get it completely. When it comes to Chelsea, look, I understand what their club is trying to build. I understand what their team is trying to do. I understand what the owner is trying to achieve, but they're getting things wrong. And the problem is with what's going on there right now is I think some people are burying their heads in the sand. I think the worst thing they can do right now is sack Pochettino, because I think they need a manager. They need to give somebody time. They need to let somebody settle. They need to let somebody develop this football team. They've got to find a way of relieving this pressure. And I don't think sacking a manager per se is going to do that. However, the way I'm seeing some Chelsea fans say we're going to be okay because some of the metrics look good, you're also not considering, barring Liverpool, they haven't really played a top team yet. So yes, they've got 67% possession, but if over the next 7-8 games, when they go away to Fulham, who play possession football, when they play Arsenal, when they play Brighton, when they play Brentford, when they play City, that possession stat is going to drop by at least 10 to 15% because those teams will have a lot more of the ball. They have played Bournemouths and Forests and whoever else where they're having the lion's share of possession. Their inability to score goals and last season is creeping in for them. And I don't know if strange is the right word, but when I watched Chelsea, I watched 3 of their preseason games and I thought they're moving that ball well. They're looking tasty. I watched them against Liverpool first game and thought there's a team in there. But every game, I feel like they're getting progressively worse. The pressure is building. And as I say, I just think in this scenario, sacking Pochettino, I don't think he's going to massively help them because they thought sacking Tuchel was going to help. It didn't. They thought sacking Potter was going to help. It didn't. Why do you disagree? Why would sacking Poch this time be different from sacking Tuchel and Graham Potter? Why would it improve in this time?
Tuchel in the first place. Let's just have that right. They should never have sacked him in the first place.
But that's a by the by.
13 wins since Woody's been the owner of that football club. He's got 5 of them. Yeah, he's been there over 15 months and they've had 13 wins. Yeah, Tuchel's got 5 of them.
Yeah, so I agree with that. Yeah, so
that's right. But then they go and get a nice guy in Graham Potter, a nice guy. Pochettino, nice guy. Yeah, they need a bastard, Terry. Yeah, they need a horrible, nasty, Simeone-esque manager in there. Yeah, but they ain't going to get that manager because nobody's taking that job. Yeah, so again, it comes back to what you're saying. Get rid of him. What changes? Probably nothing. But it depends what type of manager they go and get. If they could literally go and get Big Sam right now and they'd be better. And I'm not even joking. Yeah, Big Sam will go in there. Terry, I am not even joking. Right? If they went and got Big Sam, do you think any players arguing with him? Pochettino says something. What they'll go, yeah, whatever, mate.
So hang on, just slow down. So you think that the players are arguing and just not listening to Poch because he's too weak?
I think no, I'm not saying that. I think he is weak. Yeah, I don't think he stamped his authority on that club and on them players. I think there's too many players there for him to coach. Yeah, they're all young or youngish. Yeah, Sterling, you don't need to teach Sterling what to do. He knows what he's doing. He's worked under Pep. He's been at Liverpool under Brendan Rodgers. Yeah, Sterling, he knows how to. You don't need to coach Sterling. Yeah, Mudryk and all these other players, like Enzo Fernandez, probably to a lesser degree doesn't need to be coached so much. He's won a World Cup, but he's probably sitting there, Enzo, saying, "Why am I playing number 10? Yeah, why is Conor Gallagher in the 8? That's where I'm supposed to play." Yeah, Caicedo's a one-man midfield because Enzo's up there, Conor Gallagher's over there, and Caicedo's looking like a fish out of water. Yeah, it's a mess, and that is on the manager. If you went and got Big Sam straight away, defensively sound, yeah, structure, yeah, to the team. I'm not even joking. Terry, you think I'm joking? Yeah, Sterling is pony, by the way, Lee. Yeah, I'm not saying he's great, but he don't need to be coached. Yeah, he knows how to play football.
I want to stop for a second. So players of Sterling's age and a player as young as Enzo, just because he's won a World Cup, don't need a coach.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying I said to a lesser degree, if you'd listen to what I said. To a lesser degree, he's played with some of the greatest players of all time, Leo Messi, right? Angel Di Maria, yeah? He don't need to be told how to run a midfield. He's done it for Argentina to win a World Cup, right? So to a lesser degree, he doesn't need Poch telling him, right, what you need to do against Luton is do this and this. No. Let me finish. Let me finish. The way these hipster managers have come in and destroyed football, they've overcoached teams, they overcoach players, yeah, and they're in-game overcoaching, micromanaging of players after they've set their team up. They've got 1 game a week, Terry. He's got a whole week to train and work with these players, right? They don't need to train so hard because they're only playing once a week. Yeah, so they can come in light training. It's not 100 mile an hour. Right, we've got another game every 3 days. Right, 1 game a week, and he's over coaching them. Yeah, and they're just looking around going, why is Enzo at number 10? Why is Conor Gallagher at 8? Do you think they're not in group chat saying this?
Maybe. Yeah. So you sort of look at it as like the kind of Pep has kind of ruined football by over coaching and over complicating things, because a lot of them say they see him as but they're copying. A lot of people say they're copying what he's done in football.
They are copying him.
So
Arteta's copying him. Poch is copying him. Derby's copying him. And Nagelsmann's copying him.
So the Pep style of coaching and managing has killed football.
I wouldn't say it's killed football, but it's made football a lot more diluted to what it used to be. Yeah, a lot more diluted. You got Pochettino, who's a bang average coach. Yeah, over coaching players from what I'm seeing, playing players out of position, don't know his best 11, chops and changes every week. 1 week he's playing a 3 at the back, then he's playing a 4 at the back, then he's playing Enzo at 10, then he's playing this guy at left back, the centre back we've said, then he's playing him over there. It's like, mate, what are you doing? Yeah, what are you doing? The only manager in world football that can get away with doing that is Man City's manager. Yeah, I watched the Atleti Real Madrid game at the weekend. I didn't see Fran Garcia inverting. I didn't see Rudiger at left back. Yeah, I didn't see Jude Bellingham playing anywhere other than where he should do. I didn't see what's his name, Danny Carvajal inverting. Yeah, I didn't see Morata playing like left wing. Yeah, I didn't see like Saul and Koke like playing here, and no, they're playing in their right positions. And guess what? It was a great game of football. Yeah, 2 teams that went for it, and Atleti played them off the park in the end. Yeah, but it was old-fashioned, old-school football without all of this hipster crap. 2 managers that just go, do you know what? We're going to play our best players in the right positions, and we're going to have a go at it. Yeah, do you think Ancelotti's coaching Modric and Kroos? Do you think he's coaching them? He ain't coaching them. They know how to play football. He's saying go out and have a good time. Go and do what you got to do. Yeah, it's mad. Do you think he's coaching Kroos and Modric? You're mad, mate.
Yes, he is.
You're crazy.
So you're telling me he doesn't give any instructions to the likes of Modric and Toni Kroos. He just says, go on, boys, have fun. See you later, boys.
Do you think against Osasuna, yeah, he's telling Modric, right, what you need to do, yeah, is when this guy, yeah, Vasquez or whoever it may be, or him, when he gets the ball, what you need to do is, because he's weak on his right, you need to show. Do you think he's doing that? Turn it in. Turn it in.
Hang on a minute, but we know that this goes on. Because with what
it goes on with the hipster managers. He's an old school manager.
Hang on, but so you're telling me, this is an opinion thing, you don't think that Carlo Ancelotti sits down with his team, sometimes big groups, sometimes small groups, sometimes experienced, sometimes young, sometimes together, and they go through video footage before and after games, review things and speak about this is where you'll need to position. Because you don't think there's a different instruction for Luka Modric when he's playing Barcelona away at the Nou Camp versus being at home in a Champions League game to Sheriff. Of course there's going to be a different instruction. Of course they're watching video footage.
Do you think against Osasuna or Sheriff he's teaching him what to do? Terry.
Again, there's not so maybe we're playing a bit of word doctoring here. They are still being coached. They are still being instructed. They are still being put in formations. And look, I understand where you're coming from to a certain degree. But I don't think we've got to go back to the original point here because we have to get stuck in the weeds. I don't think sacking Poch and bringing in Big Sam, just because Big Sam won't try and invert a fullback, is going to fix Chelsea's problems.
That's what they need. They need structure. They need some sort of structure at that football club rather than a mishmash of inverted, false this, hybrid this, mashing up the team every week. Nah, mate.